Thanks for joining us for another edition of Toro Talk. I'm Joel Norman alongside the assistant coach of the Mason City Toros, Marquise Cotten. And Marquise, the last couple of days have been quiet leading up to what's going to be a busy stretch here. It's, I say quiet, of course, as normal practicing, but it's going to be a busy stretch for the Toros coming up 5 games in 6 days. This past weekend, you guys only had 1 game, but boy, you sure came to play in that one, picking up a win over Rochester. What was the difference this time around against the Grizzlies compared to a couple of months ago in 2 much tougher games?
Well, the guys that we have are, we have a little different personnel. We also had a little bit more time with our guys to really nail in what we want to accomplish on the ice, and the guys really have bought in since, that first meeting with Roch. And, the guys just got up for the game and got the younger guys on board with them and brought them along, and everybody did their part and played well.
How much has changed about this team besides just personnel since 2 months ago? Because you watch this team now, if you're a fan of the team, to me, you can't help but notice how different they seem to be on the bench, on the ice, all around. What do you see that's been different since even a couple months ago?
Well, I think a huge part of the change that has taken place is the fact that the guys are, they hang out a bunch. They really love each other, and I think that they're all pulling the rope in the same direction to get the same goal accomplished here. And I think that's just been huge. I mean, you can't find a guy on our bench that's not excited to be there. Day in, day out, everybody shows up ready to go.
Now, you guys didn't have any games last Friday and Saturday, but there were still members of the team, yourself included, who were plenty busy. Of course, Campion, Sota Isogai, and Carter Newpower all getting called up to play with the North Iowa Bulls, and you were on the bench being able to help out as a coach for those games. Talk to me first off, what did it mean to see those 3 get that promotion, seeing them all up at the next level? You've got to take a lot of pride in that as a coach.
Yeah, 100%. Nick and I were super proud of those guys, and, we told them to take every advantage of every opportunity that they get, and, they did that there, and more props to those guys because they actually earned it.
How'd you feel they played? Because I really felt like they just got better with every shift over those 2 days.
Yeah, they adjusted to the speed quite easily, and, once they got going, the guys all kind of got around them, and all the guys like them and love them. So I think it was a good games for all 3 of the guys. They all played well and, did what they were supposed to do.
Yeah, they sure did. And Campion's going to get an opportunity to further see what he can do with the Bulls. He'll be with them this weekend, but that means he won't be with the Toros. So Up needs to slide someone into that center spot on the top line between Newpower and Isogai. Who can we expect to be filling that role?
So Nick and I have been talking about that, and we've been looking at it in practice. We have a lot of good centers on the team, rather, and a lot of guys can slot in there really easily. We still haven't really decided on that one 100% yet, though.
Still waiting on that role. So we'll figure that out before game time, who's going to move into that spot. But it's an interesting dilemma in a way. It's a good problem to have. You're having guys getting promoted at the same time, though. So what are you looking for from a player who steps into that role? Because, the top line comes out last weekend. They get all 4 goals. It's been no secret that line can really produce a lot of offense. If you're bringing someone up there, is the same expectation for them to kind of fill the bill, or is it pretty much bring their talents to the game as well?
So it's more so bring their talents, right? Like, we don't want anybody that is a singer to start dancing, right? We want our guys to play their game and play it the right way each time they go out there on the ice. And communication, I think, is the biggest part is between them and, their line mates, whoever they might be for the night.
Another thing that's been clicking besides the success of that top line has been the power play. You guys have scored multiple power play goals in 4 consecutive games. Now, that's pretty dang impressive right there to see that it's been doing that much better. What do you think has been, the reason for that, sudden burst of success among the man advantage group?
So I think a big part of that is we've had them together for a bit now, and they're just gelling and communicating a lot more, and just being able to get pucks through and get pucks to the net, moving pucks around, which moves the killers around a bit more, open up some more looks for us, and they just capitalize.
So you think it's been the passing that's been a big thing, and just familiarity with each other, the biggest points?
Yeah, 100%. I think the puck movement's been great for that unit, and for both units, honestly, the puck movement's been great, and we're just looking to find as many good looks as we can out of the power play.
Yeah, and certainly reaping the benefits, as I mentioned, as of late. So this coming week is a busy stretch. It begins here this weekend with 2 games, Wilmer and then Rochester. But then you go to the showcase, 3 games, 3 different opponents. A big part of your job is kind of preparing for opponents. How difficult is this to prepare for 5 different teams in a 6-day span?
More or less, it's not that hard, honestly. It's just a lot of film that has to go into it and making sure I'm taking really good notes and not getting them mixed up. It's maybe just the time that it takes, but, it's a part of the job, and, it's why I get up in the morning.
Burning the midnight oil, though, I assume, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Plenty of that. But talk to me about from the fatigue standpoint, how important it is to kind of keep everyone, locked in over the next few days. Obviously, the guys are going to be excited to be playing games over practicing, but by those last couple of days, fatigue is inevitably going to set in. What have you and Nick done to kind of prepare the guys to best be able to combat that?
Well, we like to, pride ourselves in our preparation. So I think the prep is really big. And, Nick and I bring a little bit of energy, but the boys bring all the energy. And that kind of feeds off into Nick and I sometimes for sure and gets us going. And, in turn, we kind of share that with the guys where, we give it to them, they give it to us. So I think it's just going to be our overall energy and, willingness to want to win, honestly.
Holiday breaks coming up after the showcase. What are you looking forward to most about that? It's going to be a nice chance for you to go back home.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of warm weather. It'd be nice.
It's funny saying that. You're still, a pretty northern part of the country, all things considered, but I guess not as cold as here. That's correct, right?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Well, Keith, thanks for joining us. Have a great holiday break, and let's go get some wins the next few days.
Thank you. You too, Joel.
That was assistant coach Marquise Cotten joining us, and this has been Toro Talk.